Imagine lying in your bed tonight, closing your eyes as you have countless times before, and never opening them again. No warning signs. No pain you can remember. Just an abrupt end in the silence of sleep. While that may sound alarming, it is a reality that occurs far more often than most people realize. Every year, hundreds of thousands of adults over the age of 50 suffer heart attacks or strokes while they are sleeping. What makes this especially concerning is that, in many cases, these tragedies are not caused solely by rare illnesses, genetics, or simple bad luck. Instead, they are linked to common nighttime habits that people often assume are completely harmless. In the next few minutes, you will discover nighttime habits that can quietly transform sleep into a period of increased risk for both the heart and the brain. Most importantly, you will learn practical changes you can begin making tonight to help lower those risks significantly. This information is not intended to frighten or exaggerate. It reflects well-established medical evidence. My name is Dr. Jacob Elliott, and I have spent many years studying cardiovascular health in adults over 50. If you belong to this age group, what you are about to learn could have a profound impact on your life. One fact that surprises many people is that the cardiovascular system is particularly vulnerable during the night. Research from the American Heart Association indicates that a large percentage of fatal cardiovascular events in older adults occur between 1 p.m. and 6 a.m. Under normal circumstances, sleep allows the body to enter a restorative state. Blood pressure drops, heart rate slows, the nervous system shifts into recovery mode, and the brain works to remove metabolic waste that accumulates throughout the day. But when certain habits disrupt these natural processes, sleep becomes a physiological minefield. Tonight, you will learn why heart attacks and strokes frequently occur during sleep and which nighttime habits become especially risky after age 50 and a simple routine that can help protect your heart at 50 while you sleep. Everything I will explain is based on established medical research and presented in practical, easy-to-understand terms. Let's start with one of the most dangerous nighttime habits, eating large meals late at night. Many people consider this harmless and think they are simply having dinner. However, after age 50, the timing and size of your evening meal can have a significant impact on how well your heart recovers during the night. When you consume a heavy meal late in the evening, particularly after 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., your body undergoes several changes that place extra strain on the cardiovascular system. Digestion requires increased blood flow, forcing the heart to work harder to support the stomach and intestines. Instead of naturally declining, blood pressure may remain elevated. At the same time, metabolism becomes more active when the body should be preparing for restorative sleep. In simple terms, your heart is being forced to stay busy during the hours when it should be resting. Research published in the European Heart Journal tracked more than 100,000 adults over an extended period and found a concerning pattern. Individuals who routinely eat late in the evening face a noticeably greater risk of experiencing heart attacks and strokes during the night compared with those who eat earlier. Why does this happen? Late-night digestion can raise triglyceride levels, promote inflammation within the arteries, and interfere with the normal nighttime drop in blood pressure that helps protect the heart and blood vessels. Another often overlooked issue is acid reflux. Going to bed shortly after a large meal increases the risk of stomach acid moving upward into the esophagus. Beyond causing discomfort, reflux can stimulate the vagus nerve and, in some older adults, contribute to irregular heart rhythms that may become dangerous. I once treated a 69-year-old patient who had spent many years eating substantial dinners late in the evening. One night, she suffered a heart attack while asleep. Her heart had endured ongoing nighttime strain for decades, and eventually the burden became too great. Fortunately, this is a habit that can be changed with immediate benefits. Choosing lighter meals and eating earlier in the evening gives the heart a chance to rest properly during the night. Blood pressure tends to stabilize, cardiovascular stress decreases, and the risk of serious nighttime cardiac events can be significantly reduced. Now, let's move to the second dangerous nighttime habit, one that most underestimate, skipping medications or taking them at the wrong time. If you rely on medication to manage blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood clotting, this information is especially important. Blood pressure naturally follows a daily cycle. In healthy people, it typically drops during sleep, giving the heart and blood vessels a chance to recover. However, many adults over 50 experience little or no nighttime drop in blood pressure. In some cases, blood pressure actually rises while they sleep, a condition known as nocturnal hypertension, which increases cardiovascular risk. Research published in The Lancet has found that taking certain medications at the appropriate time may dramatically lower the risk of heart attacks and strokes that occur during the night. On the other hand, skipping doses or taking medications inconsistently can allow dangerous surges in blood pressure while you're asleep. These sudden increases can damage arterial plaques, trigger blood clots, and lead to life-threatening events affecting the heart or brain, often without any prior warning signs. Over the years, I've treated patients who regularly skipped their medications. One individual forgot to take his prescriptions several nights each week and eventually suffered a severe stroke during sleep. Although he survived, the stroke left him permanently paralyzed. The timing of medication is not a trivial matter. It can play a crucial role in protecting your health and, in some cases, your life. Always follow your prescribed treatment plan and consult your doctor about the best time to take your medications. Never skip doses without medical guidance. Now let's proceed to the third dangerous nighttime habit, sleep apnea, one of the most common yet frequently undiagnosed conditions affecting adults over 50. Sleep apnea causes breathing to repeatedly stop and start throughout the night. These interruptions may last 10, 20, or even 30 seconds at a time. Every pause in breathing reduces the amount of oxygen reaching the bloodstream. In response, the body activates an emergency stress reaction. The heart beats faster, blood pressure rises, and stress hormones surge throughout the body. These can occur hundreds of times each night, often without the person being aware of them. Extensive research conducted by leading medical institutions has shown that untreated sleep apnea can dramatically increase cardiovascular risk, including a much higher risk of nighttime heart attacks and strokes. Common warning signs include persistent, loud snoring, waking up gasping for breath, frequent morning headaches, excessive tiredness during the day, high blood pressure that remains difficult to manage. One of my patients dismissed her snoring as a simple annoyance. However, during the night, her oxygen levels dropped so severely that her heart developed a dangerous rhythm disturbance. Fortunately, emergency help arrived in time, and she survived. After receiving proper treatment, her health improved significantly. While sleeping on your side may reduce some symptoms, it should never replace a proper medical evaluation and diagnosis. And as serious as these risks are, the next nighttime habit may be even more widespread because many older adults practice it intentionally, believing it benefits their health. Unfortunately, that belief can create an even greater danger. Now let's proceed to the fourth dangerous nighttime habit, one that many older adults adopt deliberately because they believe it improves their sleep, going to bed dehydrated. As people age, their sense of thirst often becomes less reliable. To avoid nighttime trips to the bathroom, many individuals reduce their fluid intake during the evening. Although this may seem sensible, it can create serious health risks. Even while sleeping, the body continuously loses fluids through breathing and perspiration. If you're already dehydrated when you go to bed, your circulatory system begins the night under added strain. What happens inside the body is relatively straightforward. Dehydration causes the blood to become more concentrated and viscous. Thicker blood circulates less efficiently and has a greater tendency to form clots. At the same time, normal sleep causes the heart rate to slow and blood pressure to decrease. When these natural changes occur alongside dehydration, blood flow to vital organs such as the heart and brain may be reduced to potentially dangerous levels. This combination can increase the risk of ischemic strokes and heart attacks occurring during sleep. Research published in cardiovascular journals has found that even moderate dehydration may significantly elevate the risk of overnight cardiovascular complications. I remember a 70-year-old patient who was proud of never drinking water after his evening meal. One morning, he failed to wake up normally after suffering a stroke during the night. Medical imaging revealed a clot obstructing an artery in his brain, and tests showed that his blood was unusually concentrated. Dehydration appeared to be an important contributing factor. Fortunately, preventing this risk is relatively simple. Drinking a glass of water 1 or 2 hours before bedtime can help maintain healthy circulation. It's also wise to use the bathroom before going to sleep and to keep water nearby in case you wake up thirsty during the night. This small adjustment can support smoother blood flow and reduce stress on both the heart and brain while you sleep. Let's move to the fifth dangerous nighttime habit, one that few people associate with cardiovascular health: sleeping in a room that is either too hot or too cold. The temperature of your bedroom has a direct effect on how hard your cardiovascular system must work during the night. When a room is excessively warm, the body struggles to cool itself efficiently. Blood vessels widen, heart rate rises, and fluid loss through sweating increases. These changes can place additional strain on the cardiovascular system and may contribute to higher blood pressure. Studies have found that sleeping in overly warm environments can increase cardiovascular stress during the night. However, excessive cold can be equally problematic. Cold temperatures cause blood vessels to narrow, increasing resistance to blood flow. As a result, the heart must work harder to circulate blood throughout the body. For older adults, particularly those with hardened or narrowed arteries, this extra burden may increase the risk of serious cardiovascular events. Research from Europe has documented noticeable increases in nighttime heart attacks during periods of unusually cold weather, especially among older populations. Managing bedroom temperature is about more than comfort; it can be an important part of protecting cardiovascular health.